welcome to my channel. My name is Brianna Lawson and this is my channel Becoming Bree. Over on Becoming Bree, we are talking about primarily talking about how to show up as your highest self all the time, the steps that it takes to get there, and how to take painful experiences and alchemize them so that they give you power and they don't hold you back. A lot of times when we go through things in life, we become kind of self-defeating. We can develop imposter syndrome. Like, you become your own worst critic. And after being my own worst critic for a very long time, I was tired of that and I didn't want to do it anymore. And that's not something that ever resonated with me. I've never been that sort of girl, never been that sort of person. And going through my own like trials and tribulations, and being committed to learning from them, I feel like this is a space where I'll be able to share that energy, and hopefully inspire you to do the same. So I've left really toxic relationships where I was toxic, someone else was toxic, and I've been able to reshape my future in the way that I know that it's always been destined to. And so I'm not exactly in the place where I want to be. However, I am the woman that I want to be. And I think that that's the most empowering thing about the entire message. So I developed certain habits and was called out on my habits, and then I faced them head on and completely got rid of them. So I do not drink anymore. That's something that was very big for me. Today, I don't know, I think I'm like a 430 some odd days sober from alcohol, which is a huge deal because I come from an era of binge drinking and always been drinking, and I've never drank like a normal person. So learning that about myself and having the level of honest, when you have to be super honest with yourself about the things that are hurting you, you develop a different method of how to maneuver painful situations. And I just want to say that I didn't always feel like this, right? So when my relationship ended, I had to end up moving back home with my girls and just trying to figure out where I was going from, like, just starting completely over and just me. Nobody else in the picture, just me and my children. And how am I going to lay the foundation in order to raise my girls the way that I want to? But also, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be positive. I want to be the woman that I have always known myself to be. And so, any painful situation I've ever gone through, I have never wanted to dwell in that space. I always would just pray, like, God, just lead me back to me. That was my exact prayer. Just lead me back to me. And so, in being super honest with myself and being able to let go of bad habits and being able to learning how to protect myself and protect my heart, but still showing up as my best self, that's been a huge thing for me. And I also had to let go of wanting to fit into spaces that were never created for me in the first place. So now this is my own space at my own table, and that makes me super happy. I turned 35 this week, so I had a birthday that I'm still actively celebrating, and this video is coming out after. But I'm a huge girl's girl. I am constantly empowered and motivated by other women that I see. And then something clicked in my head like, well, what's so different between you and them? I had to tell myself, nothing. There really is nothing that different between the women that I watch all the time versus the type of content I want to put out and the type of content that I want to create. And it's always about self-improving, keeping yourself as your center, not centering men, not centering your family, not centering your children, but being able to have all of these roles in your life and still know exactly who you are. And doing that takes a lot of work and a lot of time, but there's nothing that you'll ever regret about learning to be your own best friend. And that is something that I have been actively learning, especially in the past 2 years, how to show up for myself. What do I like to do for myself? How am I maneuvering like in my regular life? And then how am I merging my highest self with where I am right now and just becoming more of the woman that I envision in my head? And I take that vision very seriously because I've always seen her so clearly. So when I was going through moments of experiencing imposter syndrome or experiencing like I'm not good enough to be somewhere, it's just kind of like every negative thing that you've ever heard about yourself, our minds have the ability to like, it's like becomes like a huge cloud. So you only hear the negative things about yourself. You're way harder on yourself than anyone else is. And I would rather try and fail and learn from that failure versus not trying at all. Like, I've had a million different types of careers, everything from high dollar fundraising and working in that administrative environment to being a bottle girl for 3 years. Like, I've done everything, leasing agent, retail manager, everything's always been customer service based. I've worked from home. So I've had a lot of different experiences, and I always found myself at, like, where do I fit in? Like, what are my skills? And it's just like, I have so many skills, I don't need to put myself in a box. And I don't want other people to do that to me either. And I think being a woman, owning your voice and owning your boundaries and owning who you are is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. If you don't, it creates a situation where people can constantly walk over you, where people constantly try to tell you who you are. They try to talk you out of the ideas that you have for yourself, only because they're only speaking from their perspective and from where their experiences have led them. And at some point, it has to click, like, you might not have ever seen anything that I want to do before. You might not have ever seen it. So how can you advise me on it? How can you talk me out of it? How can you talk to me about all the risks? And you literally don't have my vision. And I think being able to own that and walk with it is such a big moment of pride, and to know that you can create the reality you see for yourself, and it requires you to walk with audacity and to walk in your confidence and to walk in your power. But I am able to do these things because I know what it feels like to not feel that way about myself, to not feel motivated, to not feel disciplined, to not feel like I have anything under control, and then watching everything that I love be taken away and watching it all crumble. It was just like, it opened me up so much to new possibilities for my life. And that's what my channel's about. It's about being a woman and embracing yourself and still being open to all the love that we deserve, but also knowing what it means to center yourself, knowing what it means to believe in yourself, knowing what it means to just walk in your light, learn your darkness, walk in your light, and be the fantastic woman that you are, because you are fantastic. You might just, you don't have it refined yet, and you don't have to have it completely refined to know that it exists within you. We're always learning, we're always changing, we're always evolving, and these are things that are super important. So this is where those conversations are going to happen. So that is my intro. I will see you all next week. I will have one video up every week starting today, Monday, February 10th. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you click the notifications. You can follow me on TikTok at Becoming Bree, and you can follow me on Instagram at Becoming Bree.